Sheehan tells us a very interesting UFO story. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, I'm basically just going to share Danny's story here. Let him tell it in his own words. I love that we're getting these videos from Contact in the Desert. Dennis sent me this. Dennis actually went to the convention. I wish I could have been there. And he got to meet some people and have some great experiences. And I hope that he tells us all about it when he comes back. But this is a video of obviously of Danny Sheehan's presentation, and let's give a listen to this very interesting UFO story.
And there had been a number of reports there of these extraordinarily strange aircraft flying around up by Greenland, and some of the people who were not read into this program of what was going on actually directed these scientists to go up to Greenland to kind of observe what was happening up there. And General Bethune was the pilot of this plane. There were two crews. I had a long conversation with General Bethune about this, that there were two crews, a pilot, co-pilot, and navigator that would take turns flying. They had just gotten refueled up over the North Atlantic, and they were flying through the night. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, the co-pilot looks down and sees this ring of lights way down below at sea level. And he said, wait, this shouldn't be, that looks like a little town or something down there. We're supposed to be out over the North Sea. Let's recheck our navigation. They confirmed that they were out over the North Sea, and suddenly this ring of lights just ascended into the sky right in front of their craft. And it was the 100 feet wide, directly in the front of the craft. It was in the headlights of the craft. And General Bethune was afraid that they were going to run into it. And so what he did is he nosed the craft over suddenly and had this steep dive and then leveled off, and the craft just backed off and followed them. And he then turned to the co-pilot and said, look, that was a pretty sharp move we had to make. I need to go back and check on the scientists and stuff. They're back in the passenger compartment. Take the wheel here. So he gets up and goes back. He goes back, and it was Bethune's telling the story. He said, I go back into the passenger cabin, and 12 of these scientists were all glued to the windows, looking out the window at this craft, all just kind of stunned at what was happening there, except for one guy who was standing in the aisle with his back turned to all of them and his arms crossed like this in the hall, in the passenger's compartment. And so General Bethune went over to him and said, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" And he said, yes, I'm all right. And General Bethune said, "Did you see that out there? Do you see that out there?" And the guy turned to him and he said, "I'm a scientist. I don't believe in those things. I'm not looking." Now, General Bethune told me that story. And so I was in the process of trying to gather more and more of this information when I was contacted by Dr. Mack, because Dr. Mack had decided that this was such an extraordinary phenomenon of these high-level officers coming in and being debriefed basically by him. And he began a process of trying to find other people who may have had experiences like that. And he ended up interviewing a significant number of people that were highly trustworthy. There were police officers, there were, government officials, others that he would get a hold of, and he was doing these psychiatric evaluations of them. And
of course, that's John Mack. So yeah, a great story. I just wanted to bring that to you. A general, some scientists nearly collided with a large UFO. That was so large they thought it was a town below them until it rose up. Then Danny says it's only like 100 feet wide, so it doesn't sound as big as it did at first. Either way, they almost hit it, and of course you had the one scientist refusing to even look at it. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, they have, the people in the positions of power have known about this phenomenon for a long time. They have been hiding it for a long time as well. It's just BS that the veil of secrecy is so pervasive, across countries, across decades. It's really disgusting that they've been able to get away with it for as long as they have. Because it must be widely known in the military. I mean, they're shooting these things down. If there's a UFO, out at sea, there's been cases where the skipper would bring everybody inside so that they couldn't see the UFO, so they wouldn't know what was going on. But that does seem to signal some sort of command from the top. So at least the people in charge know about this stuff. Maybe the crewmen didn't, and that's why they had to be brought in. But there has to be so many people in positions of power throughout the military and government that know about this stuff. It's not just a small handful of people. And then there's all the people that, who are not in positions of power, but that have been called upon to act on behest of the government or the control group, whatever organization it is. I guess it's all the same, really, in a way. For example, to fire at these UFOs, to chase and fire at these UFOs. So it's not just the leaders. It's, there's probably a long chain of command. A lot of people involved know about this phenomenon. Anyway, it was a fun story from Danny, involving John Mack, and a general and a giant UFO, and of course the scientist not even willing to take a look at it. Anyway, fun story. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming channel members. Channel members are really rock stars, and I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.